and just kind of moving very gently for today's class, warm up our body, get us stretched out, and restore it for the upcoming month. So let's go ahead and start with our legs straight out. Try to find the sharpest points of the sits bones. Your legs can be hip width apart. We're going to take a deep breath in, reach the arms high, and then exhale, fold over the legs.
You can keep your feet relaxed. Mine are pointed right now, but feel free to flex and point or just keep them relaxed. And then we're just going to let our heart soften down between the legs. So just gently waking up our spine. Let your head be heavy. You're going to feel a deep stretch in the spine and even into the neck. You might even feel that stretch in the hamstrings, the backs of the legs. So just start to shift your weight side to side. So you're kind of pulling yourself over your left leg, then your right leg. Breathing as we slowly stretch the body. As you pull yourself down and rock side to side, you might feel a stretch in the opposite lower back. We're going to come to center, let everything be heavier. Deep breaths in and out. And now from this position, we're going to start rolling down. So leading back with the pubic bone, you're going to roll down one bone at a time. Feel your low spine touch, then your mid spine, upper spine. Then your head, we're going to slide our feet along our mat as we bend our knees, and then lift your hips up into a bridge as you take your arms overhead. You're just going to pause, really squeeze the glutes so you open up the front of the hip, and feel any tension in your lower back release. Make sure your weight's not on your neck. You want to be on the top of the shoulder blades, so ribs are down. On our next exhale, let's soften through the heart, roll down bone by bone. Find neutral placement at the bottom, extend your legs out, and then we're going to bring our arms up, draw chin to chest, curl the head and shoulders off the mat. Now if you need to, you can grab the backs of your legs to help you. We're going to lengthen the tailbone to the heels and roll all the way up. Flex the feet, take that stretch forward again with feet flexed, shoulders down. We're going to do this 4 more times. So we're going to scoop and roll back. Reach your heels towards the opposite wall as you roll back on the second one. Start to slide your feet along the mat as you bend your knees, and then pick your hips up into a bridge as you take your arms overhead. Exhale, soften and roll down bone by bone. Just focus on articulating the spine there. Extending the legs out after you find neutral. Arms float up. Draw chin to chest, curl the head and shoulders off the mat, lengthen your tailbone to the heels, and roll all the way up, stretching forward, flexing your feet. 3 more times. Keep reaching your heels in the opposite direction of your abdominals. Slide the feet along the mat. Roll the hips up as you take your arms overhead. Soften, roll down on an exhale. Just make sure you're breathing as you're moving. Inhale, find neutral, extend the legs. Exhale, roll up. Flex the feet, inhale, stretch forward. 2 more times here. Lift those hips up, opening up the front of the body, working the back of the body. Softening to roll down, extend the legs out, roll up. Excuse me, 1 more time. Lift. 1 more deep breath in and out as you hold this bridge at the top. Exhale, soften through your heart and roll down 1 bone at a time. Allow your tailbone to come to neutral, and then bring your arms down to your side. We're going to bring the bottoms of our feet together, knees wide, so you feel that gentle stretch in the inner thighs. Take the arms back overhead, shoulders down, and press your hips up. As you reach the hips up, we're still squeezing the glutes. Your weight's at your shoulder blades. Let your head lengthen away, And let your knees really be heavy. Try to relax any gripping in the inner thigh area. You might feel your body kind of rock side to side. Just a passive stretch through for our iliopsoas. Couple more deep breaths in and out. Relax any tension in the neck, shoulders, and face. And then we'll slowly roll down. Allow the knees to be heavy as you relax the back of the body. And then we're going to slide our arms down out to our side. So they're straight out, palms face down. We're going to take our left leg and extend it. Bring your right knee up and stretch it to the ceiling. 8 circles, single leg circles. So we're going to cross our midline, hip comes off, not the shoulder. Circle down, out to the side, and up for 8. Remember, we want to inhale for half our circle, exhale for the other half, 7. So we have this nice range of motion through the hips, 6. Big stretch and reach, 5. Anchoring down through the left side by reaching through your left leg. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Reach it away. Let's reverse out to the side, down, cross your midline, hip comes off, not your shoulder. And we just use our obliques to bring that leg back in front of us. Inhale and exhale. Still anchoring through the left side by reaching through that left leg. 5 more times. And 4. Really reaching away, especially if you're getting popping in your hip. Think about your leg getting longer. Reach it out of the hip joint. 1 more time. We're going to bring our legs to center. Bend your knee, give it a little hug in towards your body. At the same time, we're still reaching through that left leg. We're going to take our right leg up to the ceiling. Grab a hold of any part of the back of your leg that you can keep your leg straight. Just stay away from directly behind the knee. We're going to flex our foot. Pull the knee down towards your chest or eyeball. Point the toes, stretch it back up. 3 more times. Flex and bend. Inhale, point, stretch it up. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. 1 more time. We're going to keep the legs straight, flex and point for 4. 3, just warm up your ankle. 2, 1, circles 4 each way. 3, 2, 1, reverse. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to point the toe, bend the knee, cross that knee across over your midline, and then open your right arm behind you and look at your hand. It is okay if your knee isn't on the floor. It's also okay if your hand isn't on the floor. You should feel a nice stretch in your pecs and maybe even into your bicep. Nice deep twist through our spine. We're going to be here for a moment. So closing the eyes, deep breaths in and out. As you exhale, focus on feeling your spine squeezing out like a little sponge. Let's do 3 breaths total, so 1 more. Now staying here, all we're going to do is cactus our arm. Elbow more than likely will not be on the floor. Deeper stretch through our pec. Deep breaths in and out. Spine squeezes out like a little sponge on your exhales. You feel your elbow drop closer to the floor on your last exhale. We're going to bring everything back to center. Hug your right knee in. Just give it a little hug. And then we're going to extend that leg down. Arms open back out to the side. Center your hips. And left leg, we're going to stretch it to the ceiling. Cross your midline. Hip comes off, not your shoulders. Circle down, out to the side, and up. Inhale for half your circle. Exhale for the other half. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 4 more. Remember, we want to reach through that leg. You're anchoring through the right by reaching through your right leg. So that right hip does not come off the floor. Let's reverse. Out to the side, down, cross your midline. A little bit of oblique work to pull the hip back. Leg follows. Inhale for half your circle. Exhale for the other half. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. Really reach it away. Stay turned out. 1 more. And coming to center, we're going to give that knee a hug in towards our body while still reaching through the right leg. Reach your leg to the ceiling. Grab any part of it that's going to allow you to keep your leg straight. Just stay away from the directly behind your knee. We're going to flex the foot, bend the knee. So you're doing a little plie. Think about your knee going to your eyeball or your chest. Point the toes, stretch through that leg. Exhale, bend, flex the foot, pull that knee in. Inhale, stretch. 2 more times here. 1 more. Keep your legs straight. We're going to flex and point. 4, warm up that foot and ankle. 3, 2, relax the shoulders, circles. 4, each way. 3, 2, reverse. 4, really feel those muscles in your foot warming up. 2 more. 1 more, point the toes, bend your knee, cross your midline, and then we're going to take our left arm behind us. It is okay if your knee and hand do not touch the floor. We're going to be here for 3 deep breaths in and out, so close your eyes. On each exhale, focus on feeling your spine squeeze out like a little sponge. Relax any tension in your neck, shoulders and face. 1 more. We're going to stay here, but cactus the arm. Again, deep breaths in and out. On each exhale, you might feel your elbow drop a little closer to the floor. From here, we're just going to pull everything back to center, giving our left knee a hug in. We're going to pull the right leg in, kind of centering our hips. Draw chin to chest. You're going to curl up and kind of roll up into a little ball. So feel your low spine. It's kind of curled, but it's off the mat as best you can. If you need some space for your body, you can open your knees so you don't feel too squished. Couple deep breaths in and out. Keep your chin tucked. 1 more time, shoulders down. Resting back onto the mat. Just make circles with your knees on the ceiling so you get a little massage on your sacrum. We'll do 4 each way. Reverse. We're going to roll to the side and push ourselves up into a quadruped position. So hands right underneath our shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. We're going to do a couple cats and cows. So anchor the shoulders down. On your exhale, we're going to drop the crown of the head and the tailbone. You're going to round your spine up to the ceiling. I want you to push your hands into the floor and feel your shoulder blades pull apart. Let your head be very heavy. Inhale, we're going to lift the crown of the head and the sit bones as you drop your belly going into cow. So we're going into extension. To deepen it, you could pull your hands and knees towards one another. Exhale, round the spine, dropping the crown of the head and the sit bones. Push the hands into the floor. Feel your shoulder blades pull apart. Inhale, go into your extension, pulling your hands and knees towards one another to deepen it. 3 more. Two more. One more. Now we're going to stay extended. You're going to try to keep your hips over your knees. And you're going to walk your hands out as far as you feel comfortable in the shoulders. Your focus is to bring your chest as close to the floor as you can. It's going to feel kind of weird because your butt is sticking up in the air,
but you're gonna get this really wonderful stretch through the shoulders, nice work through the back, and you're flexing your hips. So if your hips are a little tight, this is kind of helping us with that. Staying here, all you're gonna do is round the spine. You lift your arms coming up onto your hands and you kind of roll the hips forward so you end in a plank on the knees, on the hands. And then we're just gonna walk our hands back underneath our shoulders, bringing your hips back over your knees. We're gonna repeat that whole set one more time. So exhale, round the spine going into our cat. Inhale, extend the spine going into your cow. Exhale, round. So this one is all about our spine moving. Inhale, extend. 3 more times. Exhale, curl. Feel those shoulder blades pull apart. Inhale, extend. Hands and knees pull together. 2 more. Really drop your head down as you go into your cat. Feel that nice stretch in the back of the neck. We're going to go into our cow. You're going to stay extended. And here's where we're going to walk our hands out, keeping your hips over your knees, bringing your chest down as far as you feel comfortable in the shoulders. Big stretch through the shoulders, the back, and the hips. Deep breaths in and out. Start to roll the hips forward as you pick your arms up. You're dropping the crown of your head and your tail, and you're bringing your hips forward so your hands, your weight's on your hands, and you're in basically a kneeling plank. And then we're going to walk our hands back underneath the shoulders and hips over your knees. So make sure you don't dump into your belly like that. We want to keep our abdominals engaged. Just don't go so much where you're going into another cat. So nice and long through the spine for this one. We're going to peel our left arm up. Really big stretch up. Try to keep even weight on your knees so you're not shifting back into your right leg. Then we're going to thread our needles. So we're going to take that hand underneath our right arm. You're going to start to bend the elbow as you stretch that left arm across your body, resting your head on the mat. Even out your weight in your knees and just breathe here. We're going to be here for a moment again. Big spinal twist, and you'll even feel a nice stretch through that left shoulder blade. One more deep breath in and out. We're going to start to peel ourselves up. We are not going to counter stretch, so just place the hand back onto the mat. All right, let's do the other side. We're going to peel our right arm up. You're going to reach up, big stretch up, and then start to round the spine, not round the spine, but scoop the arm forward and under to thread your needle, resting the side of your head on the floor, stretching that right arm across, even out the weight in your knees and feel that big stretch in your shoulder blade. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to slowly start to pick ourselves up. Again, we're not going to counter stretch. You're just going to put that hand back onto the floor. We're going to cross the ankles, roll over the feet and the knees, and come into a seated position with your left leg in front. All right, we're going to go ahead and take, our left arm up. So if you're mirroring me, it'll be your left arm. Big stretch up and over. You want to anchor down through your left hip, coming all the way back to center. The right arm, we're going to reach it out to go up and over. Anchor down through your right hip. So now moving our spine into lateral flexion. Big side stretch. Let's reach out with that left arm to come up and over. You can keep your gaze looking forward. Coming back up. And again, right arm reach out to go up and over. And coming back up. And one more time, left arm goes up and over. We're going to circle this hand down in front of us and place it on not the knee joint itself, but right above it on the thigh. And you're going to start to rotate over your right knee. Push this leg away. It's okay if the shoulders kind of roll forward a little bit. You want to just think about pushing this knee away. This hand, your right one, can move back by your hip. And then you're gonna, with a flat back, hinge down over your right leg. As you hinge down, you're should feel this very deep stretch in your low back and into the hip on the left. Let's add a couple pulses. 1, 2, back is totally straight. So lift your chest, lift your gaze. And we're gonna hold this one. It's a very deep stretch for our iliopsoas. We're gonna slowly come back up. Take the arms forward, just gonna pivot to the side, and you're gonna reach forward. Big stretch through the back of the hip on the left. Deep breaths in and out. Restacking your spine, slowly coming back up to center. We're gonna take our left ear to left shoulder. Deep breaths in and out. Lift the head and then right ear to right shoulder. Sit up tall, shoulders are back. Now as we're stretching on this side, we're going to take that left shoulder and you're going to depress it. So you can think about your elbow or your hand reaching down towards the floor. And you're going to feel this very deep stretch in your upper trap. Deep breaths in and out. All we're going to do is tip our head up a little bit. And you're going to start to feel this deep stretch in the side front of your neck into the scalenes. We're going to rotate so that your gaze is looking down in the middle of your right chest. You're going to take your right hand to the back of the head. And then we're sitting up tall again. You're going to actually depress the head. Don't go too hard, just be very light about it. And as you're doing this, we're still thinking about being tall. And that left shoulder, is pulling back and down. And you should feel a very deep stretch in the left side of the neck and into the shoulder blade. So stretching out our levator scapula. We're going to go ahead and release that, coming to center, and just gently kind of turn your head side to side so you get a little range of motion in your cervical spine. Kind of shaking out this stretch there. All right, coming to center, we're going to go ahead and bring our right leg in front. We're going to take our right arm, reach it out to go up and over, back into our lateral flexion for our spine. Coming back up, left arm reach out to go up and over, anchoring down through the left hip, coming up, and again, right arm, reach it away. Big side stretches, left arm, reach it away. Coming up, and right arm, reach it away. We're gonna circle this hand down in front of us and place it just above the joint of your knee on the inner part of your right thigh. You're going to then pivot and turn so that your body is kind of leaning over your left leg, and then this back hand can go by your hip. We're going to push this leg away. It's okay if the shoulder rolls forward a little bit, and you're going to hinge down away from your right leg. Let's add a little pulse. Keep your gaze and your heart lifted so your spine stays straight. And that way you get that very deep stretch in the low back and into the hip on the right. We're going to hold and breathe. Big stretch for our right iliopsoas. We're going to slowly come out of it. I'm just going to pivot to the side. We're going to take our arms forward and you're going to just reach out. Deep breaths in and out. Big stretch in the back of the right hip. We're going to then restack our spine all the way back up. So you get that little stretch in your spine as you restack. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulder blades back, not pinching them back, but just so that they feel flat against your back. We're going to drop our right ear to right shoulder. Deep breaths in and out. And then let's go ahead and take our left ear to left shoulder. As we're doing this side, make sure the shoulders are back, you're nice and tall. And you're going to think about reaching your right hand or elbow down to the floor so it depresses the shoulder a little bit. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel that deepened stretch in the upper trap on your right. All we're going to do is tip our gaze slightly up. You'll feel your stretch transfer from the side to the front of the neck into our scalenes. Just take it easy because they're very small muscles. Just want to give them a little stretch. We're going to rotate our head down so that our gaze is looking down in the center of our left chest. We're going to then take our left hand behind the head, sit up tall, and actually use your hand and your arm to draw the head down. Just be gentle. Keep reaching your right shoulder down to the floor. And again, you should feel that very deep stretch in the neck and into the shoulder blade on the right. If you're not feeling it, sit up taller. Deep breaths in and out here. Sometimes this muscle gets tight if you sleep funny. So it's always good to kind of give it a nice little stretch. We're going to go ahead and release that, lifting our head to center and just kind of turning the head side to side. Just to kind of shake out the stretch, basically. Real gentle. Coming to center, we're going to reach our arms behind us and out to the side. And you're going to give yourself a nice little hug, one arm on top. Kind of walk the fingertips back so you feel the shoulder blades pull apart. Sit up nice and tall. Good big stretch for our rhomboids. You're going to again open, and then we're going to go other arm on top. Once you feel kind of giving yourself that hug, you can kind of walk your hands back a little bit. And again, just relax the shoulders and feel that stretch through your rhomboids, which are the muscles that attach from your shoulder blade to your spine. We're going to release that, take our arms high, bend your left elbow, grab the elbow. Try not to dip your head forward, so keep your head back. And you're just going to pull that elbow behind you so you get a stretch in your trap. And I'll turn to the side so you can see my arm is pretty relaxed back here. I'm trying to keep my ribs down as best I can, but it's okay if you lift a little bit. You're going to feel that stretch in your your tricep. We're going to release it. Just bring your arms down. And again, we'll reach up, bend your right elbow, grab the elbow. Make sure your head doesn't dip forward, so keep your head up and just pull the elbow back. And again, the arm is pretty relaxed behind. So just a nice gentle stretch in your tricep. We're going to release that. We're going to turn our right leg around. Placing your left hand on the floor, we're going to push our hips up and forward. And now we're going into that lateral flexion, but now because we're pushing our hips forward, you should feel a nice stretch in your hip flexor on the right. Hips go back and down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. 1 more time. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Now when you go down, you're going to rotate away from where your legs are, lifting your heart up. So you might feel a little stretch in if you're mirroring me, it'll be your left obliques. And then we're going to spiral or kind of spin the arms around. You can grab your foot in your knee and you're going to round your spine and just kind of twist to your right. Spine is rounded as we do that. And we're going to release, we're going to spin our arms around. You're going to lift your heart, put your hands on the floor and kind of push against your mat and the floor to deepen your twist. Exhale, round the spine. Twist the other way. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We're going to stay here and you're going to extend your back leg out. Big stretch. Lift your heart higher. Good. Now from here, all you're going to do is pivot So you're bringing your bottom leg through, or bottom leg up, not your bottom leg, I guess it would be your bottom leg. So not the back leg, but the one that you're sitting on. So it would be your left leg. Right leg is back. We feel that big stretch in our hip flexor. Pigeon stretch. So you're trying to get this hip to look forward. Stay up on the fingertips for a moment. Let your hip open a little more. When you are ready, we're going to fold down over that front leg. And this is another one where we're going to be here for a moment. So let's do that 3 deep breath in and out pattern. Big stretch in the back of your left hip. We're going to use our arms to slowly walk ourselves back up. Nice and tall through your spine again, shoulders back. Keep your left hand on the floor. You're going to take your right arm. So same arm is like that's back. We're going to do a little semicircle up and around. Make sure your left shoulder is back. You're going to stay here looking back at your hand. If you feel comfortable, bend your knee, grab your foot or your ankle, and take a quad stretch. Couple deep breaths in and out here. Might even feel a stretch in your pec and your bicep. Just be easy. We're going to slowly release our foot if you have it. And you're going to do that semicircle up and back and around. All we're going to do is roll onto our left hip to swing that right leg around. So now you're in a little figure 4 stretch. We're going to take our arms high and hinge down over that leg. I want you to grab the outside of your foot with your left hand. We're going to bring our right hand to our hip. Nice and tall through the spine, so start to lengthen. And you're going to pick that leg up. So I'm crossed over. And then I'm also trying to not be here. So I'm going to lift my back as best I can. Couple deep breaths in and out. You're going to slowly lower the leg back down. Go back into your stretch forward. Pull that left hip back so you feel stretch in your left hip. Slowly restack your spine all the way back up. All right, let's see if I can remember what we did. We'll do the other side. So we're going to start with our legs going to your left. We'll place our right hand on the mat. We're going to push our hips up and forward. Inhale, so you get that big opening on the left hip flexor. Hips go back and down. 2 more times. Inhaling up, big stretch. Exhaling down. So today it's all about stretching and lengthening. 1 more time. And all the way down. We're going to keep our legs here. You're going to rotate away. When you rotate away, you want to lift your heart up and kind of push against the floor to deepen your twist. You might even feel a stretch in the obliques on your right. Now we're going to spin our arms around. You're going to round your spine, grab the foot and the shin or part of the knee and just push against to deepen the flexion and the twist. Release it, spin your arms around. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen. We're going to stay. You're going to straighten your back leg. Reach it behind you. Big stretch. Lift your heart more. Deeper stretch into your right obliques. Now take this right leg. You're just going to bring it more forward. So you're coming into your pigeon stretch. We're trying to get this leg down so your hip looks forward. That's the goal. If you feel any torquing in your knee, just back off a little bit. Hands on the mat, lift your hips. Or lift your hips, lift your chest. Don't lift your hips, keep them on the mat. We're going to slide our arms out as you hinge down over your front leg. And this is one where we're going to be here for that 3 deep breath in and out pattern.
Relaxing any tension in the neck and shoulders. Try to relax any gripping in your hips also. We're going to use our hands and our arms to walk ourselves back up. Coming up onto the fingertips, planting the hands, keeping your right hand down, shoulder back. We're going to take our left arm. So same arm is like this back. You're going to do a semicircle up and around. You're going to stay here, look back at that hand, make sure both shoulders are back. If you feel comfortable, bend your knee, grab your foot or your shin or your ankle, Big stretch through your quad and maybe even into your pec. So be gentle. These are deep stretches, but if you feel like it's too deep and you're just feeling a little bit of too much discomfort and pain, back off a little bit. If you have your foot, slowly release it. We're going to do that semicircle back up and around. Hands on the mat again. And then all we're going to do is roll onto that right hip, pivoting your left leg around, bringing it forward so you're in your figure 4 stretch. We're going to take our arms high. You're going to hinge down over your front leg. Grab the outside of your foot or ankle with your right hand. Start to lift your chest, lift your body. Take this hand by your hip, and then you're just going to pick that leg up. Good. Again, you want to not be here. So you want to really lift, try to lengthen. To come out of it, we're going to slowly lower down and take that forward fold over your leg again. Restacking your spine all the way back up. We're going to take our legs straight out, reaching the arms up. You're going to fold forward again. Take the left hand and grab your right side of the foot or ankle. Right hand at your hip or thigh. And we're going to pick that leg up again. Just a little bit different because now this leg is out. You might feel a deeper stretch on the side of your leg. Still try to keep your heart lifted. And then we're going to place that leg down. Forward fold again. With your right hand, grab the outside of your left foot or ankle, shoulder down. Right hand at your thigh or hip. And then we're going to pick this leg up. Lift your heart. Bigger stretch on the side of your leg. Slowly bring the leg down. Go back into your figure fold. Restack the spine. Don't know what figure fold means. Forward fold is what I meant. So, random Pilates cues coming out of my mouth today. All right, everybody, let's come into a quadruped. And we're going to start to open up our hips a little bit more. And a little bit more intensely. We're going to take our left leg and step it forward between your hands and come into your hip flexor stretch. Come up onto the fingertips, lift your heart. Deep breaths in and out. Start to put a little weight in your front heel so you feel your hamstring engage. We're going to slowly bring our hands up onto the knee. Lift your heart more. Bigger stretch through here. We're going to take our left hand behind us and you're going to anchor it onto the back of your right thigh. And then we're going to take our right arm higher and do a gentle back bend. It's a braced back bend, so just take your time. We're going to cartwheel the hands down onto the floor. You're going to curl your back toes under and straighten your leg. And then you're going to hop your back foot in about halfway. Straightening both legs. Make sure your hip width apart and your big toes are facing forward. Lengthen your spine and then hinge down over that left leg, pulling your left hip back. And here we're going to be here for a moment. So let's do that 3 deep breaths in and out. Let your head be very heavy. Now we're going to bend our front knee, bringing your hands in front of you, or in front of your left foot on the mat. You're going to start to pick up your back leg as you straighten your left leg. You're going to lift that back leg off the floor and open up your hip. Keep your hands here, look down at your foot. If you want, you could take your left hand and grab your foot to pull yourself deeper into a hamstring stretch. We're just gonna hold for a moment. Feel that back hip open up. Deep breaths in and out. Bring your left hand onto the floor. If you have your leg, you're gonna bend your knee and we're gonna start to lower the hip, stepping our back leg all the way back. Hands on the mat. You're gonna step your left foot next to your right foot, finding a plank. And then we're gonna pike our hips up, shoulders down, ribs down, lift your sit bones, start to pedal out your pike. Big stretch in the back of our legs. Both heels down, we're gonna pick our right leg up high, bend the knee, cross your midline. Let's open up that hip some more, shoulders down and breathe. Pull your right knee up towards your right shoulder and then stretch your leg to the ceiling. Now we're gonna bend our knee as we rotate our hip down. You're gonna pull it in, knee to nose, and then you're gonna rotate, send the leg across and underneath as you pivot onto this back foot. We're gonna pick our left arm up and you're gonna reach up to the ceiling. Deep breaths in and out. Start to rotate back down, placing your left hand down as you pivot that back heel up, sliding your right leg back, find a plank, shoulders down, gently bring your knees down. Bring your knees under your hips and walk your hands back under your shoulders. All right, let's balance ourselves out and do the other side. So the right foot's gonna step forward between your hands and come into your hip flexor stretch. Up onto the fingertips, lift the heart. Deep breaths in and out. Start to push into your right heel so you feel your hamstrings engage, and then we'll slowly bring our hands onto our knee. So we're getting that deeper stretch in our left hip because we're lifting up, we're opening it more. Right hand is going to come to the back of the left thigh, you're bracing against it. Left arm goes high, we add that gentle back bend. Just be gentle. Don't want to overstretch. Cartwheel your hands down. We're going to curl the back toes under, lift the knee, and then we're going to step that back foot in about halfway. Both legs straight, toes look forward, legs hip width apart. Lengthen the spine, pulling your right hip back, and then just kind of hinge down over that right leg. Big stretch in the hamstring. We're going to be here for 3 deep breaths in and out. We're going to bend our front knee. Bring your hands a little more forward in front of your right foot. And then you're going to start to straighten your right leg as you pick your back leg up. You're going to reach that leg up to the ceiling. We're opening up our hip. So allow your left hip to open up to the left. Look down at your foot. If you feel confident, grab the back of your ankle with your right hand and pull yourself down. You can even use both if you want. Just be careful. Really lift that back leg. Pull yourself down so you feel that deeper stretch in your hamstring. Little balance work. We're going to start to lower the back leg. Rotate your hip down. Put your right hand on the floor. Step that leg way back. Then placing our hands flat on the mat, we're going to step our right foot back and find a plank. Shoulders down. Spread your fingers wide. Pike your hips up. And we're going to pedal out our pike. Shoulders down, ribs down, sit bones lifted instead. Drive both heels down. It's okay if they don't touch. We're going to pick our right leg up high, bend your knee, cross your midline. We're opening up that hip again. Even weight in your feet. Deep breaths in and out. Pull your knee towards your armpit, towards your shoulder. Stretch the leg up to the ceiling. We're going to slowly lower the leg, rotating our hip down. You're going to pull knee to nose and then cross that left leg under. You're going to start to pivot onto the back foot as you pick your right arm up, and we're going to reach up to the ceiling. Big stretch. Breathe. It's probably the hardest one. Slowly start to rotate back down as you pivot, lifting that back heel up. Start to slide the left leg back. Find a plank, shoulders down. We're going to bring our knees down, feet together, knees wide, and sit back into a child's pose. Rest the forehead on the floor and just deep breaths in and out. Let your heart rate come down a little bit from doing that. Stay here, deep breaths in and out again. We're going to lift up a little bit to bring our legs together. If you want to keep, some distance for your body, you can keep them open. We're just going to shift into shell stretch. So in child's pose, your back is flat. In Pilates shell stretch, we want spinal flexion. So we're going to bring our arms down to our feet. And now like the top part of the forehead is resting on the mat. And just allow your body to kind of be heavy, nice rounded spine. We'll do a couple deep breaths in and out here. And while we're here and we're breathing, we're just going to start to roll the forehead on the floor. Just feels really good. It kind of calms down. If you're thinking about a lot of things, oddly, it just kind of quiets your mind. Couple more deep breaths in and out. We're going to slowly restack our spine. And we're going to cross our ankles, roll over the feet and knees, and roll onto your back. So you grab the backs of your legs to do that. Pretty much touched everything. So now the last thing we're going to do is some inner thigh stuff, but it's going to be very gentle. So we're going to bring our legs up to the ceiling. You can go into imprint, and we're just going to let our legs open to the side. You can take your hands under to kind of pull, or over to kind of hold and push down. So whatever you feel more comfortable with. You can start to kind of rock side to side so you get that little massage on your sacrum again. Basically, you're just allowing gravity and the weight of your own legs to stretch your adductors. You can also do this against a wall. If you put your butt up against the wall, if you're having a hard time holding your arms up, and then you just let your legs slide down the wall so that the legs in your bottom are against the wall. A couple more deep breaths in and out. We can point and flex the feet. Now we're going to bend our knees, kind of pulling our knees towards our armpits. You're going to grab the inside of your feet. And as you press your knees down to the floor, you're going to press your tailbone down to the floor. And then you're going to push your hands into your feet and your feet into your hands. So you get this really big opening stretch through your hips. If it feels too deep, just back off. We can rock side to side here for happy baby. And then for those of you who want an extra stretch in the inner thighs, we're going to extend our right leg. And then as you bring it in, extend your left leg. Try not to rock as you do this. Let's do that one more time. Right and left. And then we can go both. Tailbone heavy, breathe. We're going to release it. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Maybe shake them out gently. So you get that release in your inner thigh. Now we're going to bring our feet onto the mat, hip width apart. Deep breath in. Bring your feet towards your body. Take the arms overhead. You're going to roll up into a bridge. I want you to squeeze your glutes as hard as you can, just like we did at the beginning, to release any tension in your low back. Softening, rolling back down. We're going to extend our legs. Arms float up, draw chin to chest. We're gonna roll up, flex the feet, big stretch forward. Rolling down, so we're kind of ending the same way we started today. Lift the hips up, big stretch, squeeze the glutes. Soften, roll down. You'll kind of notice on the second bridge that you don't really have a lot of tension in your low back. Big stretch forward. And let's do that one more time here. Lift the hips up. Soften, roll down. Extend the legs. And big stretch forward. And then we're going to soften, roll down. Bottoms of your feet together for our passive iliopsoas stretch. So let your knees be wide. We're going to take the arms up. And then we're going to press our hips up. Make sure your weight's at your shoulder blades, not your neck. Relax any gripping in your hips. And just passively allow the knees to fall to the side. Deep breaths in and out. Your body might start to shake a little bit. It might rock side to side. Just breathe. We're going to slowly lower down. Bring the knees gently inward. Shake them out a little bit. And then hug your knees in. Let's curl up again. Knees to nose, nose to knees. And then we're going to roll to our side. And we're just going to rest for a moment with our eyes closed. Deep breaths in and out. Keeping your eyes closed, slowly start to make your way up into a seated position with one leg in front. We can rest our hands in our lap or on our knees. And keeping your eyes closed, just kind of settle back into your body. Become aware of any changes you feel after our stretches today. Keeping the eyes closed, just become aware of your breathing and allow it to soften and return to normal. Become aware of your heartbeat. Become aware of how your head feels on the shoulders. How your spine feels. Let's take a deep breath in together. On your exhale, make a noise. Let's do that again 2 more times. Deep breath in together. On your exhale, make a noise. One more time, deep breath in together. This time on your exhale, make a noise, and then smile. And open your eyes. Thank you everybody for joining me today. I hope your body feels restored and stretched out, and that you feel ready for your day or night, whatever time you decided to do your stretches. And I look forward to seeing you next month. I'll be posting my videos regularly, my Wednesday classes. So usually they end up uploading around Thursday. So please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.